Hello and welcome back to my videos. Today I'm going to talk about choosing your attitude. I've got a little story to tell you to give you an example of this. At the moment, my boys are away at cadet camp. They don't like me telling people about that, but well, they probably don't watch my videos anyway, so I'm going to tell you. My youngest, Jamie, on the first full day, they arrived on Saturday, and then on Sunday they had a day of sports, and he was playing football. In his first game, he stubbed his toe, and he phoned me during the day and said it was really sore, but he just bashed on anyway and played another 2 matches afterwards. Later on, when he took his trainers off and so on, he saw that his toe was rather swollen and bruised, so he phoned me again and I encouraged him to go to the med centre. So off he went, and they suspect that he's broken his toe. Of course, they haven't bothered taking him to the hospital or anything to get it x-rayed, because with a broken toe they don't really do very much for you. At the best, they strap it to the one next to it, and so they've just been giving him some painkillers. But the reason that I'm telling you that story is because before he went to camp, he was having a bit of a bad attitude about the whole thing, because he's a very fussy eater, and quite often there's not very much at camp that he'll eat. He likes really plain food, like just meat and potatoes, and they tend to do stuff with sauces, or they'll do like burgers and sausages and things like that. Jamie just likes chicken, pork, turkey, beef. He'll eat any kind of meat generally, as long as it is how it comes off the animal. He doesn't like it messed with. So although he's fussy, it's not like he wants anything extravagant. He just wants things plain and simple, and they seem to like to mess with the food there. So he often struggles with finding something to eat. He doesn't even like most desserts and things, so it's difficult for him to fill up. Anyway, so he was having a little bit of a bad attitude about going, and how it was just going to be awful, and it was going to be hungry, and this, that, and the other. So we had a chat, I think it was maybe 2 days before he went, about how he was the one that was going to decide how much he enjoyed his camp. He could go with the attitude that he currently had, which was it was going to be terrible, it was going to be awful, and it would be, because that's the attitude he'd decided to choose, and so that's what would happen. He would be miserable, and he would make those around him miserable. Or he could change his attitude. He could decide that, in fact, he was going to have a good time, and it didn't really matter if things didn't go 100% his way, or if there was sort of tricky moments that he had to work through. He could go and decide that he was going to have a really good time, and then he would have a good time, and he would cope with the negative things that happened and just get on with it. So I think the chat worked. He seemed to have a much better attitude about going, and he went off quite happily to camp. And even though he's hurt himself and he's injured and he's hobbling about, he's still getting involved in most of the activities. He's just taking painkillers and getting stuck in. And he phoned me last night and told me how much fun he was having. So, and yesterday, for example, he was in pain with his toe. He didn't have breakfast or lunch because it was stuff out in the field and he didn't like any of it. And at night, all he had was a plate of chips for his tea. Fortunately, I sent him away with crackers and things, and he's got money, and they go to the little shop on camp and they can get, Kit Kats. I think he's surviving on Kit Kats at the moment, and I'd sent him off with crackers and things that he will eat. So even though he didn't eat, he wasn't, he was getting painkillers and he was in quite a lot of pain. He had a good day because that was the attitude he chose to have. I'm going to sneeze, I think. No, maybe not. Okay, no, it's gone, it's passed. So because he chose to have a good attitude and get the most out of it and get the best of the situation, he's having a good time. He is in pain and he's uncomfortable, but he's not letting that hold him back and spoil his fun. So I thought that was a brilliant example of someone choosing their attitude, and it was really good that he took on board what I was talking to him about, because I was a little bit worried actually about him going, because they're in Liverpool, which is it's about a 6-hour drive from here, 5 or 6 hour drive, so not exactly easy to go and pick him up if he was really having a terrible time. And when I heard that he'd hurt his toe, I was really quite worried that we were going to have to jump in the car and go and get him. So it's great to hear that he's overcoming all these difficulties and just making the most of it. And I'm really, really proud of him. And it just shows you oh, here comes a sneeze. Oh, excuse me. It just shows you if a 12-year-old can choose his attitude like that, then surely us grown-ups, adults, can do the same. It's all about what's going on up in here, and it's absolutely true that you choose your... Oh, I've got to sneeze again. Sorry, I don't know what's making me sneeze at the moment. Apparently I'm not allergic to anything, and I don't have hay fever, but I do get the sneezes. So, well, just get on with it. So yes, if a 12-year-old can do that and overcome these things, these negative things that are potentially in his way, then anyone can. We certainly can. We should be have the emotional intelligence and the resilience. It comes down to resilience a lot as well, to being able to stand up to adversity and the different things that are going wrong, and say, do you know what, I'm not going to let that change the outcome of my day. I'll deal with it and I'll get on with it and I'll make the most of it. So that's the message for today, is choose your attitude. It's not always easy, but it is achievable and doable, and you can, with a bit of practice, it does take practice, you can decide what kind of day you're going to have. You just get up and you decide, it doesn't matter who pees in my cornflakes, I'm going to just have an awesome day. So without further ado, if you like my videos and enjoy watching my little snippets and stories, then please subscribe to my channel, watch my other videos. Hopefully you might find something useful or helpful from them. So yeah, go on, have a great day, decide that that's what you're going to do and just make it happen. Okay, take care people, bye.